How to create a portfolio in Canva? First and foremost, I highly recommend that you clearly establish an account on Canva. However, if you happen to be a student and possess a university email address, make sure to create a student account because it provides you with access to numerous features that would otherwise be entirely paid, meaning you would have to pay to obtain these features. However, if you prefer not to pay and you happen to be a student, you have the opportunity to access what we might call the premium version of Canva as a student. Once you have successfully registered on Canva, I will provide the link in the description. This applies whether you are using a laptop, a desktop computer, a Mac, an iPad, or any device of your choice, and a menu similar to this one will appear. For this, what you are going to do is enter here where it says search millions of templates, click on it, and here you will search for the word portfolio. Different types of portfolios will appear, and I recommend that you add the word according to the type of portfolio you want to create. In this particular instance, considering it's a personal portfolio, which essentially signifies a personal brand, you should search for it in this manner, personal portfolio, and then proceed to click here. Once you have done that, all the templates that we have available for the purpose of creating your portfolio will appear. Now, it might be that the ones that appear here don't appeal to you much, so we're going to go back to the start and go to this icon that looks like options. Then we click on it, and this will appear here. Now, let us proceed to the section labeled as category, and you will observe this displayed here. The categories serve the purpose of defining the specific type of template we desire. For instance, we might be interested in a presentation that is in a horizontal orientation, or perhaps an Instagram post that will be formatted horizontally, or alternatively, we can opt for an online portfolio, which signifies one that we are able to share with others. In this case, we choose that type of portfolio that appears here, and notice that the design completely changes, but we can also change that if we go here where it says style. You have the option to select the specific type of portfolio you desire. In this particular instance, it could be modern, professional, minimalist, simple, or creative, depending on the particular industry you are involved in. So, you simply select from this list the one you prefer. In my situation, I'm going to return to this section, and I prefer the minimalist design, so I select this option, and this is where these kinds of portfolios will appear more tailored to my requirements. Then I just continue exploring here and choose the one I find most appropriate for me. Bear in mind that everything you observe here is entirely customizable. Let's select, for instance, this particular one from this young lady to see how it can be personalized. We click on it, and all the pages relevant to what we require will appear. We have the option to utilize all the pages displayed here, or just a few of them, and even incorporate the design of others that appear here and are similar. In this scenario, we use this one, so we'll click on the right where it says customize this template, and now it will load this for us. So we'll simply start configuring it. Remember that everything is completely customizable, so each time you hover over something, it will indicate what you can personalize. For example, if I hover my cursor over this text, a purple rectangle appears, which means that if I click on it, I can modify exactly that space. That is what is inside that rectangle. In this case, it's the text that appears there. So if I want to modify it, and for example, I don't want page to appear, but only one because I want it to be even more minimalist, then I put that there. If I do not wish for anything to be visible here, or if, for instance, I am not fond of the font, which refers to the style of the letters, I simply select it here, click on it, and the type of font will appear. Thus, I can alter it here, and I can opt for this one over here if I prefer it more. That will depend on what you truly require. I actually suggest retaining the default because generally the designers of these portfolios select fonts that are adapted to the portfolio design itself. So, let's keep the default one. Clearly the date here is outdated, so we can modify it from 2024 to 2025, or if it's simply a 2025 portfolio, we can remove everything and just leave 2025. Then at the top, we could change the website, so we can put any website here. For example, I put this web.com. Then in the name, if you want, you can change it. Let's say you just want to leave, I don't know, by chance your name is Wilson, so you just leave Wilson here. And if you only wanted to say portfolio, then we remove that, and that's how it looks. We can also change this photo, obviously. The interesting part is to personalize it to your liking and make it personal. So if it's your portfolio, the idea is to add a photo of yourself here. If not, you can simply change it. So let's click on it, go to where it says edit at the top, and here on the left, this will appear. In this case, we can not only change the photo itself, but we can also add certain effects, change, for example, the filter to appear in other colors like this. Or as I said, we can change the photo. For this, we go here where it says elements and we can search, for example, model, and other models will appear here. So let's say I want to change this and replace it with this one, for example. I simply drag it to where the person's photo was and change it. But as I said, the idea here is that you can also change this, meaning you can add your own photos. For that, you go to where it says Uploads, click here and then click Upload Photos. And look, let's imagine I want to put this image of these penguins. For some reason, it's perhaps a photography portfolio, so I'm going to put it here. And look, it changes automatically, and notice that the filter also adapts to the new photo I put. Likewise, I can drag other photos. Suppose I want this apple over here, so I'm going to drag it. These are photos I downloaded from the internet and I can put them here. So suppose I want to put it here and it changes completely. This, as I said, is entirely customizable. Now we have this space over here, and let's go back to the main point. Let's imagine that we've already personalized this part. Okay, now let's scroll down and continue updating everything again. So let's suppose here it's 2025. Then here we're not fashion models, but simply models, and we update this photo as well. So once again, we go here and upload another photo for this. Look, I just have some other photos over here. So let's add one of these, for example, this one, and we add it here. Let's assume it's a drawing portfolio, or it could be anything else you desire it to be. The choice is yours. Once again, we prefer not to display the page, just the numeral 2, to achieve a more minimalist appearance. Regarding the About Me section, you have the option to modify this text if you wish. It might not resonate with you, so feel free to alter it. Additionally, you can revise the text in the description and compose content that describes, for instance, if this is a UHU portfolio, as I previously mentioned, what inspired it, the process of its creation, and so forth. And here we have this photo, which, as I mentioned, you can adapt the design to whatever you want. So it might be that this photo here isn't contributing anything, so we remove it, delete the photo, and you can make this a bit larger because maybe you don't like how it is. Then you simply write more text if you want, and you place it like this and fill it in a nicer way so that the design is more adapted, and that's how it looks here. Certainly, as I was articulating, from this point forward, you possess the capability to configure all remaining aspects. You have the option to come here, alter the photos that are displayed, modify the text if you so desire, and you can also incorporate additional pages. You may click this button here, and if you feel the necessity for more pages in your portfolio, you can click here to duplicate a page, and that identical page will be replicated. You can employ this same design to complete your work, and if you prefer not to utilize these designs, you simply click to add a new page. A blank page will be introduced, and you can personally customize it with all the tools available on the left side. For instance, in Elements, you could search for a rectangle, locate it here, and say, this one is suitable for me. You adapt it, position it, and decide you want it to be placed here. You adjust the corners of this rectangle, and you can expand it as necessary. You can enlarge it in this manner, and then at the top, you can alter the colors. For example, this one has a black border. But let's say we don't desire a black border. We want the interior to be black as well, so it appears integrated. We position it here, and now you can configure the portfolio more according to your preferences. All these guides that appear assist in defining if something is, for instance, precisely in the center of the image. In this scenario, this rectangle occupies the center of the right image, so we can guide ourselves more effectively. Once you have everything updated and configured according to your requirements, proceed to the top right where it says Share and click Download. You can download it in various formats. For a portfolio, it's advisable to download it in PDF format, either the standard PDF or the print PDF, both of which offer good quality. In this case, the standard one, and you select the number of pages you wish to appear. You might choose to only have page 1 and page 2, which we modified, downloaded. We click Save, then Save again, and Download. Do not enable this option unless your PDF is excessively large because it contains numerous files. In this instance, we just click download and it commences downloading. Let's wait for it to download. Here we have it. We open it in a new tab and you can see the portfolio we created. You might add more elements, and if we go back, we have another option, which is to share. In this case, click the option that says share a public link click it and it will literally do that. We'll create a public link to share and ensure it's set so anyone can access it. Then click copy and, for example, open an incognito window, enter the link, and you'll see that since we said anyone can enter, even 50 people, anyone who accesses can view this portfolio page by page of what we created. This is how we create the portfolio. Do you wish to incorporate links, for example? You can also do this perfectly. For example, select this text or this image, better yet this text, to link to an address. You click here and then click on the three dots and then click where it says link. Here you will enter a link. For example, suppose you want this text to take you to the same presentation, so we put it in and click save and it will appear as a link mode. Then, if we open a new incognito window and copy the link and go to the presentation and wait for it to load here, if we go to the next page and click on this section, it will open a new link. So there you have it. It will appear here as linked. You simply copy this link that appears here, click copy, and you'll see it has updated. It may take a few moments, but it will show that this is a clickable link, and you just click and it will open the presentation or the link you desire. By the way, there's something here, and it's that you can see the entire presentation here, as you can see, meaning all the pages are visible, unlike when we downloaded the PDF earlier. If you don't want the other pages to be visible, what you need to do is click on this eye icon here to hide the page, and hide all the pages that appear here so they won't show up when viewed in the public link.